You're doing 30k a month or 30k a day now?
30k a day.
In this video, we're flying out to Singapore to meet 7 and 8 figure Ecom brand owners, including my good friend Samir, for my Evolve community meetup, and we're going to be sharing insights of how to scale a brand.
100k days.
I was scaling up past 100k a day. 100k a day. How does that feel to be doing $100,000 a day?
It doesn't feel as good as people think it is. I think I feel better when I hit my first sale with Shopify.
I did a study on my audience a couple weeks ago, and I found out most of the people that know me and know my personal brand have already started Ecom but are not able to make it work. Now, not speaking to the beginners, but speaking to the people who have already tried and have not able to make it work, what's your advice to them? What can you tell them?
Success in dropshipping is pretty much guaranteed. And what do I mean by that? When you're first starting out, right, let's say you have 1 to 3% chance of a successful product. That means maybe if it's a 1% chance, if you test 100 times, you get a winning product.
Yeah.
And each time you do, assuming you actually learn from it, your chance goes up.
But the caveat to that is, you said something very important. You said as long as you learn from your mistakes. Can you talk about some of the mistakes that you see people make when they're starting out?
The biggest one that people make when they start out is they try to make everything perfect. But the thing is, success is all about speed, right? If you try to make one store perfect, someone can make like 5 to 7 products, although semi-perfect, in the same amount of time. Who's gonna succeed first? The one that has the most volume.
Speed. Let's say someone watching this is spending a couple grand a day on Facebook ads. Let's say they're at a position where they're around 20 to 30% margin. They're not able to scale. Every time they try and scale, their margin breaks, they go unprofitable, their CPAs rise, you know how it goes. What advice do you have for that person?
I think the biggest change is intent. Because you put in enough volume when you get to 0 to 100K, you put in more volume at that scale, you get a lot of junk volume, right? Test more products, test more creatives, nothing hits. And when I mean intent, actually understanding your customers, putting out creatives that understand them better than they understand themselves, right? Office, same thing. Hey, if you just understand your customer, whether that's research or just do an email survey, you have enough customers at that point, figure it out. When you add this intent element, sometimes that means doing less but getting more out of it. It's all through market research. And when I'm on a table with people, let's say, who do 8 to 9 figures with Ecom, we don't talk about 2 specific things. It's all about marketing fundamentals. And all of this is just market research. A good example is Davey from Udi. So if you guys didn't know, he took a product in the US, put it in Australia, but what he did was he modified the product to be slightly longer, covers the niche. It's a new, what we call mechanism, right? It's a new belief. And it can be as simple as, hey, I changed the color of my supplement to make people believe in it more. So these things is like very, very small change, but it adds new belief. And I say belief because there are so many gym products out there, fitness products. The gym has existed for so long. New products keep coming out, new people keep buying it. Why? It's a new belief every single time.
New mechanism.
New mechanism. But that's product, right? And not everyone can start with customizing your product, and you don't have to. That's why you talk about the avatar. And all it is how can you relate to your customers the most? Like there's one running brand out there. They do a few mil a month. It's a running supplement brand for endurance. And what's interesting, their best ad is just a very simple image ad. It says, stop bonking at mile 20. What the fuck does that mean? No one knows. But if you're someone in that niche, you know exactly what it means. Bonking just means when you run a marathon, your legs give out. So how can you relate to your customer more? How can you be more niche down? People always say, oh, you need to niche down, can't be too general. What does that actually mean? So let's say, easy one, health product, knee sleeves. Instead of selling knee sleeves for people who have knee pain, it's, hey, knee sleeves for people who have knee pain because they were playing tennis and you're over 65. That's niche specific. How do you relate to them more?
So just to clarify, being more intentional with your offering your creatives, and you get the intent from the research. So it kind of all goes back to the research. Now, when you're trying to be more intentional, how can someone be more intentional, right? Because I'm sure a lot of people wondering, it's like, okay, you know, I've tried this creative, I've done this, I've done that, I've done the market research, but I don't feel like I'm being intentional enough. How can someone be more intentional?
One of it is actually tracking everything. When you have a good reasoning behind each thing you test, you are actually learning from each mistake. That's how you want to be intentful with it. Because the market research backs up why you want to test it. So that's the biggest one, right? And it's not just for Ecom specifically. in life in general. Improve your fitness, track it, review it. It's all about, a lot of it is just tracking it, being in the know.
When you make data-driven decisions, you get groundbreaking results. And Steve Jobs has a very good quote. He says, you can't connect the dots unless you're looking backwards, right? If there's no dots to look at, how are you going to connect anything, right? So I think keeping track of the data is really important. Just to clarify too, you're using Google Sheets, Notion, and all those platforms to keep track of your data. Do you have SOPs in place? Do you make hires for this? How do you do it? Because you're just one guy, right?
A lot of people think you need a big team to scale, really. I think Telegram, they scaled to like a few billion in valuation with like 10 plus employees.
Yeah, same with WhatsApp, yeah.
Like one of my students hit like 2 million a month. He has 3 employees, him and 2 VAs. Wow. A lot of people think you need more and more and more, but if you really get more intentful, you will need less.
How do you price your product?
If you want to position it with a better offer, buy 2, get 1, you can definitely put it more. But 3x general rule as usual works.
3x rule, okay. Free shipping or paid shipping?
They both work. And for some people, they think testing shipping makes a big difference, but honestly, like $5 shipping, $8 shipping doesn't make too much of a difference. So I would advise you to test. For most brands, free shipping does well. Things like fashion, you want to push more, it's probably paid shipping.
Do you like to do bundles or more complementary product offers?
Bundles, actually. Complementary products, the issue is most people don't know how to make a good product. And when they make a complementary product, it kills off the other one sometimes. So most people are better off going with just bundles.
Do you run cost cap?
Not really.
Okay, that's a big one. That's a big one because a lot of people probably assume you run cost caps because you spend so much.
Everyone on Twitter is like, oh, cost caps will save my business. But then, if you spend the same amount of time making better creatives, I'm pretty sure you'll scale. What makes a brand? That's an interesting question, right?
Yeah.
Some people think making a brand is, hey, I have a logo, I have stock for it, I now have a brand. If your brand ain't scaling, is it really worth a brand? On the other hand, let's say you have a drop shipping store still. Let's say you scale up to a few mil a month. Customers are happy, people keep coming back, but you're still drop shipping an existing product. Is that a brand or is that drop shipping, right? I would say the one drop shipping is more of a brand. Would you agree?
100%. More money, more customers, more everything. I love that, bro. I really do love that because a lot of people think you can't build a brand with drop shipping. You can. Drop shipping is just a method of fulfillment. As always, man, let's keep crushing it.
Thank you guys for coming. Let's scale.
So this was a pretty impromptu meetup. Samir messaged me on Tuesday to meet up, and I asked everyone in my community to fly out the next day on Wednesday. And fortunately, a lot of people still managed to pull up. And meeting all of them was really great, right? Meeting like-minded people who are also crushing it in their space. But end of the day, what I teach them to focus on is always just the basics, right? Creatives and offer. And next tips you'll see as well how some of them implemented what I taught them and they managed to scale to 100K per day and beyond.
Which card is it? Which card is it?
Is Sean's card?
Red card.
Is Sean's card? What's up, guys? My name is Ryan. I've been in e-commerce for about 5 years. I was doing between 10 to 20K a day. Nothing really crazy. I've scaled before. I've done 50, 60K a day, but I had never cracked through 100K a day. I've been stuck between 20 to 50K a day. I was just doing a lot of spam testing, a lot of volume, and I wasn't really learning from what I was doing. My whole creative process was very, very lacking.
He helped me a lot, right? Gave me lots of advice on how to scale my ads, how to, find new winning ads.
About 2 weeks later, or 2.5 weeks later, I was scaling up past 100K a day with my brand absolutely crushing. Since joining Evolved, I learned how important the creative is, the creative strategy. Actually put intention into every single ad that you make and to learn from each one. Now I'm hitting 100K days since joining Evolved.
100K days.
100K days.
Not sure any guru can flex that.
I think investing in the groups and masterminds will skyrocket your success. It helped me become a multimillionaire and it can help you too. So shout out Sean, shout out Evolve. Really appreciate these guys and I hope you all succeed.
Well, let's keep scaling.
Yes, sir. Let's keep scaling, bro.